All right, I would have liked to have read a sikha or two, a speech or two of the Rebbe's today. Really, I couldn't decide which one to do, but it looks like we haven't got any time, so I won't be able to do either one of them. But I will give over the main points of these two speeches of the Rebbe. One of them is at the end of our Torah portion, it says that if you lay siege to a town, so you're not supposed to cut down the fruit trees in order to make battering rams or whatever it is, or ladders to enter into the city. You're not allowed to cut down the fruit trees. And because it says, are fruit trees human beings? That you're there to fight against people, not against trees. Ki Adam Eitzasada. Man is a tree, and a tree is a man. Can you say the word man on a tree? No. So you're there to fight men, not trees. Okay. Because the sentence says, Ki Adam Eitzasada. Really, it's written in, it's really a, what do they call it? I can't remember the word. Anyway, sometimes we're just right in my mind. Anyway, it's just what do they call it? A rhetorical question. It's a rhetorical question. Automates a sada, a man. You can say the word man for a tree. Automates a sada. But the Gemara, they say, and the Gemara it says, ki automates a sada. It takes it in its simple meaning, not to be read rhetorically, or that a man is just exactly like a tree. And it says the reason why a man is like a tree is because if he has fruits, then you should eat from them. It's talking about learning Torah. A Torah scholar, if he has fruits, then you should leave. If not, then leave him alone. That's like cutting him off. So the Rebbe says that doesn't really sort of answer the question. It seems the question is, a man is totally like a tree, not just in one aspect. Of course, man is a lot of aspects like a tree. Yeah. He stands upright. He needs water, a lot of things. So I want to jump to the end of what the Rebbe says, and it's very, very deep. A tree, maybe more than anything else, signifies the attitude a person should take to God and to the world. On one hand, a tree is rooted in the ground, and the roots are hidden under the ground. But that's what gives stability and life to the tree. On the other hand, the tree has to grow up. It grows up, and the higher the better, the more tree it is. It has to leave the ground and grow up. So it has to be two things simultaneously, two opposites. On one hand, it has to be attached to the ground very firmly, but on the other hand, it has to grow up above and ideally provide fruits or shade or something for people. So the same thing, that's what it means, Adam Eitzasada, that we are like a tree. We have to learn this from a tree. A tree, on one hand, has to be attached to the source of life all the time. Has to be attached to the source of life all the time. And if it's not attached to the source of life, then it can't provide anything for anyone. It dies. The same thing, we have to be attached to the source of life all the time. A Jew, and also the Jews teach the whole world, that we have to be attached to the source of life, to the Creator who's creating us all the time through his Torah. That's the Creator's plan. That's the minerals and through how the Rebbe's explain it. You have to be attached to the Rebbe in order to really be alive. Like the story that I just told you. Change the world. But on the other hand, being attached is a wonderful thing, but you have to be attached to the source of life. But it's not like a fish. A fish is also totally attached to the source of his life. And if you remove it, it dies. But a fish is totally hidden in the source of his life. A tree, not so. Part of it is in life, but other part goes out and provides for others. And that's the main essence of what a person is what he provides for others, how he improves the world. And that's what it means, that a man is like the tree of the field. that a man, human beings, if they want to really be, productive and benefit the whole world, which that's the main purpose of a man and also of a tree, they have to be attached very, very deeply to their source. And the only way that you can really do this is by the Rebbe or other great tzaddikim, whatever, that have done it themselves, that do it themselves. And that's what it means, Adam Eitz Hasadeh. That's one speech of the Lubavitcher Rebbe. That, by the way, is in here, Likutei Sichos Kav Daled. Speech number 1. Speech number 2, also in the same book, is talking about the commandment of choosing a king. It's a commandment to choose the king. It says that those were the 3 commandments that Jewish people did when they came into the land of Israel, and that's when the Moshiach is going to do, is to fight, to choose a king, to fight Amalek, and then to build the temple. Fight the enemies and build them. So this thing about choosing the king is very, very important. And there are 2 purposes of choosing a king. It's explained in a book which is called Derech Mitzvotecha of the Rebbe. And אני אצלצל עוד דקה, אני באמצע משהו. The wife of a sick friend, he should be healed soon. Okay, so choosing a king. What is the second? There's 2 purposes of a king. One purpose of a king is to control the people. Control the people, that the people should do only good, that they should only listen to their good impulses and their conscience, and that there should be law and order in the country, and also to increase the size of the country, to protect the people, physical things. You have to have a king. But then there's something deeper with a king, a Jewish king. And that is that the king inspires everyone to be more attached to God. A king inspires the Jewish people to do things which are above understanding, beyond understanding. To be attached to the king of the universe in a way that's more alive, more, dynamic, more godly. And the king, in a way, forces everyone to do this. He teaches everyone and forces them to serve God more, like Moses did. That's why people didn't like Moses, why Korach succeeded so well. Because Moses forced the people, he was always forcing them and pushing them to do more and to be closer to God and to do things they finally wanted to stay in the desert and learn Torah. No, you have to go in the land of Israel, to do the opposite of what they wanted to, because that's what God wanted them to do. That's the king. So the Rebbe said the same thing is relevant to us right now. Even though it's only going to be an actual physical king only when Moshiach comes. But nevertheless, everyone has to make a king for themselves. Like the Rebbe said over here with the Shoftim, V'Shotrim, V'chol Shorecha. Each person has to make his own judge for himself. But here the Rebbe says you have to make for yourself something like king, Minui HaMelech. And the Rebbe came up, this is very shortly after the Rebbe assumed leadership. It says, Aseh Lecha Rav. It's mentioned in Pirkei Avot, in the Ethics of the Fathers, that everyone has to make for themselves a rabbi, a teacher. That doesn't mean you have to bribe somebody that they do what you want. It means that you have to find somebody and you have to make that person your rabbi. What do you mean make him? Because people naturally think about their own benefits and their own good qualities. And it's very difficult to look at another person and think that person is superior to me. He's going to be my rabbi. So it says, therefore, it says in the Mishnah, make him your rabbi. Pretend that he's greater than you. Pretend that he is. And if you really do pretend that he's greater than you, and you tell him that you're doing it because of the Torah says and because the rabbi says, then you'll be amazed that the advice that comes from him won't be advice of a person that's inferior to you. It'll be an advice from a person that you appointed. The main thing is not to rely on yourself. And that this person, this Rav, Aseh Lecha Rav, that she also, women can choose women. That's better. Women choose women and men choose men. That they will do the 2 things that a king does. Number 1, keep you in line. and for your own physical benefit, and also to encourage you to do more and to push you to learn more Torah, do more commandments, be kinder, right? Be more attached to the Creator. Think about the Creator more. Do what the Creator wants. Do what you were put into the world by the Creator to do every moment, to be positive and to be blessed and to be helpful and to be kind and to be, how do you say, loyal, be honest. In higher and higher levels, to learn more Chassidut, to understand more Chassidut. So that's the idea that the Rebbe encouraged very, very much, that everyone should asay l'charav, everyone should make for themselves a advisor and a rabbi, a shofet and a judge, and in that degree, because you're appointing them sort of like a king, in order to encourage you to be according to the Torah and encourage you to have more love to do things which are above your understanding. More love of God, more love of the Torah, more love of your fellow man. So that's the two sichas of the Rebbe. Number one, we have to be like a tree, attached very deeply to our source, but simultaneously very active and beneficial to the world. And the second one is that we have to make for ourselves a king. We have to make for ourselves an advisor and a teacher and a judge that will tell us and encourage us what to do. Have a good Shabbat with Moshiach now. This is the month of El. Oh, and you know what? Actually, we should sound the shofar. Today we have to sound the shofar. So here we go. Shofar.
Maybe we'll wake up Abba.
Yeah, wake up.
I'm up. Still up.
Okay, good.
Well, I'm going to sound the shofar anyway. Here we go. Haven't sounded the shofar yet this year. 1 second. Okay, start. Shana Tova. See you on Sunday, God willing, 8:15. Did that come through, by the way? Sometimes
a lot of it did not come through at the end.
Did not come through, right? Because I remember from last year that the microphone can only take a certain amount. All right. So Sunday it'll be. I'll just do one, so it'll be a little quieter. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. With Moshiach now.
Thank you.
Moshiach now. Thank you.
But the last one came through, right?
Most of it.
Even the last one didn't come through, all of it?